Hello viewers, Will Underwood here on the Huddle. Welcome back. I'm joined today by Darren Small, SVP of Managed Trading Services at Sportradar. Darren, thanks very much for joining us. We're going to be talking about the World Cup today. As we're about 100 days out from the beginning of the tournament now, I was wondering, could you underline exactly what kind of revenue opportunities this tournament particularly presents for the industry and the operators within it?
Thanks, Will. Thanks for having me. Appreciate the time. We're very excited about what's coming down the pipe for the World Cup. Obviously, we're seeing an extension of the tournament itself. 48 teams across 104 matches. You know, it's 40 days of intense soccer. So we're really happy and can't wait. As a revenue, we're looking at a big jump this year. We're expecting records to reach in the regions of 50 billion for the tournament. So, you know, as a part of that 50 billion, we're really excited to see what we can do and hope we get some good results out of that in the long term.
Yeah. So, in your opinion, from an operator's perspective, what are the key challenges for preparing for a tournament of this size?
Well, I mean, it's the vastness of the offer is very, very important here. As I said, there's 104 matches, making sure we've got enough coverage from the markets that are on offer, the opportunities to blend those up as well when we talk about custom bet or bet builders, where the customers are looking, and it's been a very big pickup internationally and domestically. But in addition to that, we've got a bit of focus around the player props and the player markets, where we're doing a bit of work to help to support our customers with the help of third-party providers, as well as our own internal modelling and odds provision.
Just building on that specifically, you mentioned player props there, and what kind of non-negotiables does Sportradar kind of have to have going into this tournament technologically to make sure that you get the best out of it for yourself and for the operators who use your services?
I mean, it sort of goes without saying that as a technology business, we're not keen to have any problems around uptime and availability. That's a must. Obviously, that's one of our main focuses, and something we do run to very, very well across the course of a year, and we don't generally have many problems, but it will be a high for us. In addition to that, we need to also think about the quality around the pricing and the availability around our risk management services as well that we have there. All of our regular profiling services and our lifetime delay modeling is going to play a very key part into the end user journey that we're hoping to improve for the World Cup, which we do for the rest of our tournaments, but it will be again in focus for the World Cup too.
Well, it leads me quite nicely on to my next question, because I know obviously Sportradar covers such a wide range of different sports and sports technologies, but what is it about football and the World Cup that you think that really presents a unique opportunity for your sector and obviously for the wagering industry more broadly ahead of a summer's tournament?
I don't think it's anything specific about football. I mean, football is the biggest sport in the world, and the World Cup's arguably the biggest tournament in the world. Unless you were living in the US, you might consider it different until this year when we have the World Cup there, obviously.
Yeah.
For us, it's something that we've always paid the right amount of respect to, and we focused in on. It's something we tried to position ourselves from a pre-match to live perspective, working on the right sort of markets and the right sort of availability. And as I said, this year there is going to be a little bit more focus around the player offerings and the bet builder stuff, which we know is going to be picked up. And we know that there is a strong narrative around the retail customers and the general public around like how they build those bets out. What sort of interesting combinations they can talk about amongst their friends when they're watching the game. So we're spending a lot of time making sure that those things are available and our systems are standing up to the influx that we do intend to see. We expect a significant increase in business for the World Cup.
Yeah, and we actually originally met back at Sportradar HQ a couple of years ago, I think just after the Euro 2024 tournament had happened. And I'm interested to know, how has your approach to these kinds of footballing tournaments specifically changed in any way over the past 2 years? What does success look like for the World Cup 2026 that maybe is slightly different to what it looked like for Euro 24?
Well, listen, if we can repeat the performance we had from a trading perspective of from the Euro 2024 will be very happy. It was a very solid tournament for us. It played out exactly the way you'd want it to from a sportsbook side of things. But we've learned a lot. I mean, as an organisation, we've grown significantly since then in terms of the MTS and what we manage, and the number of tickets and the amount of turnover, the specific focus around VIPs and people that are interested in playing during this tournament. So, as a group, we feel that we are much better prepared. Not because we weren't prepared then, but we've learned so much over the course of the last 24 months. And we know that going into this, we are also backed up by our world-class odds service that we know we will be able to support. In addition to that, we do also support now in a very strong way our alpha product, which we see will further enhance the ability for the sportsbooks to be able to risk manage at a bespoke level. So individually, their prices will reflect their liabilities, which will hopefully reflect into better uplifts and better ways for them to present the product to their end customer.
So yeah, just to lead on to my final question there, we touched briefly on this earlier, but what do you feel about World Cup 2026? How does the tournament, in your opinion, kind of represent perhaps a turning point maybe for the sport in the US and across US and Canada particularly, especially since the last tournament that we spoke about, Sportradar has massively expanded within that market as well?
Yeah, look, I think it's been growing as we've seen. I mean, soccer's still in that top 5 or 6 sports in the US from the US sportsbooks alone, and that's been a constant since they started offering their product. The interest in Mexico is not going away. It's been there. It will stay strong. But I think we'll see a general change in the uptake. I mean, soccer as a sport is very well participated on by the younger generations in the US. In fact, it's probably one of the big sports in pre-college participation. So, from our perspective, we don't necessarily think it's something that needs anything more to grow. The MLS is growing there. Messi's there doing a fantastic job in passing over the torch. But I think it was. I wouldn't call it a turning point. I just think it would just be this continued move towards soccer being accepted as a top 4 or 5 sport in the US.
Nice. We've come a long way since David Beckham in LA Galaxy, I think. Well, Darren, yeah, thank you. Thanks very much for joining us today. Really appreciate your insights. And yeah, I mean, we're all looking forward to the tournament ahead. I know you guys over there will be especially. So yeah, all the best for it. And thank you very much for joining us. And thank you, viewers. We'll see you in the next one.